So to start this video, I feel like I just haven't been here for such a long time. I can't wait to update you guys. So obviously, as you can probably read from the title, I'm going to be doing a super easy baddie glam if you want to be looking good on them nights out. I feel like it's almost been a year since I've actually been filming, but I want to update you and let you know that I got into my dream university, which is UAL London. And the course I'm currently studying is hair, makeup and prosthetics. So I forgot to say, I am starting off with just a clean face and apply a lot of moisturiser because you don't want your face to be dry. And if you wanted to know specifically, I just used this one. I got this big tub from Boots. It's cheaper if you end up buying bigger bulk. Oh, and as you can see, I have gotten 2 tattoos. This one Elmo, as my dog's named Elmo, and also I've got this one, which in the shop they said it was my star sign. So moving in, I've actually been living here for about 2 months now. It feels crazy to say because the time feels like it just hasn't gone past. I feel like I've gained a lot of experience because even before I moved here, I was very nervous on how to get the tubes working and things like that. But honestly, it's as easy as not forgetting how to use the bus. So moving on to some primer, I just use this e.l.f. one. I do need to kind of refill. As you can see, I don't really have much left in it. If you're studying at the moment, you know, money can go down the drain just like that. So I'm just gonna try and use as much as I can. And another hack, I know even when this finishes, if I cut it up, I know I'll be able to get about 3 more uses out of it. So definitely cut up your products, guys. So I coat my face in that and leave that to dry to allow it to get that sticky layer. I just realised I'm currently getting ready to do nothing. I hope you enjoy. Okay, I'm going in with this Superstay Skin Tint. I use shade 10. As you can see, I'm kind of pale right now. I do fake tan my body, but I need to sort out this ghost face. And usually I like to mix this in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow just to kind of lighten this up because I don't want to look too orange by the end of this. And as you can see, I just apply it evenly just around my face. Just like that. Then I go in with a foundation brush, one like this. But you can find any brushes like this from any drugstore. And then just honestly mixing them 2 together on the face like this. What I quite love about makeup is kind of like art in a form, but just on your face. Like I do feel like, especially moving on to brushes, as I have recently, it feels like you're just painting your face. And this is just to give your skin that clear and more filtered look rather than just having no base on. Once I've gone over with a brush, I like to just go over with a beauty blender just to get rid of dripey lines on the face. And after this step, you do usually just see any imperfections still show up above, and I'll show you how I cover them with concealer in quite a good technique. Honestly, one of my biggest fears when moving into uni, I was scared I would make no friends, and I've actually got the opposite. I've made so many friends and tons of friends. So I think if you're definitely starting or thinking about university, if you're in 6th form or doing A-levels, apprenticeships, either way, don't be afraid. Honestly, you're trying something new, everyone's in the same position, you will find someone. Whether it takes a week or a few days, you will find someone. And honestly, with my course, I'm actually really enjoying it. Thursdays and Fridays are practical workshops, and I do have to carry around a suitcase around London, so shout out to that. I did start off the course with going on about 4 days a week, but now it's come down to 2 full days. So 2 6-hour days, which isn't too bad compared to the start. Like it was getting to me and I thought, I've been just getting 2 days a week, like why can't I do the same? And now roles have switched. Anyway, so I like to put a bit of concealer. If you want to know, I use this Born This Way concealer. I just put it on the back of my hand and use a sort of flat brush like this. Helps control the amount of concealer you put on your face, so I'll just get a little bit of that and go over any imperfections. So as you can see, if I get close up here, I have all these bumps that I want to be covering. So I tend to just dab it on like this in the area and just kind of fuzzle it out, keeping it the main concentration on the area of the redness or imperfection or scar. And honestly, I think nightlife out here is pretty insane. I've been to loads of places and I just love experiencing new places each time. I feel like it's very fun to go try out new things, and it's very handy how we have the tube system near us because obviously we can travel very easily, especially on weekends, how they are open 24/7. Well, I think they are anyways. And usually I would go in with this for contour, the Charlotte Tilbury contour ones. However, I've actually just run out. I probably should throw that away, but I'm gonna go in with this Primark dupe. As you can see, I've literally had to keep it in here because of the amount it's spilled out. But this one, again, is cheap. It's a good option if you just want a good contour that's very similar to this. I will say this has a more warmer tone and makes you more of an orange colour, rather than this is a bit more cooled down. But I wouldn't say necessarily it's a grey contour. So I just go in with a pretty easy like face route. And what I kind of do, if you can see, I have this natural shadow here. Same with the other side. So I like to accentuate that, and obviously with my forehead try and make it appear a bit smaller. So I'll place some around the frame like this. Do like a little bit in the chin, and then I do like to do my nose, and I'll show you how I do that. So just like this. bit on my chin. So I like to go in with a beauty blender and I kind of just drag it upwards and fade it upwards. So I have a nice line here, but still blending it into my ears like this. Again, following that shadow, and as you can see, it just brings all that colour back into my face and giving me a nice defined jaw here. I'm going to do the same to the other side, blending upwards again into the hairline, and then I'm going to go in ahead and do my forehead. And can you see the warmth it brings to my face? I'm actually going to go in with a bit more, and I'll show you what product I use to just bring this a bit more to life. Again, blending in the chin. And again, there are a lot of dupes on the market right now for all these products, so you don't need to always necessarily go for the higher end products. So I like to go in with this bronzer. I've got shade light, and this just adds a nice warmth effect, which I like to frame my face to further darken this area. And just press that in on the frames of my face, kind of following the same guideline as I was using before. I like to just go in the areas of the forehead as well. And again, you can see already how much depth that's added to my face. Do have a tiny little bit left of this, but this is what I usually do. So I do a line on the top of the nose like this, one on the bottom, I do two on the side like this to create kind of a little circle, and then I like to go down the bridge like this to create this shape. And then at this part, you like to go in with my fingers and just, if you guys have any suggestions on videos you want to see, my experience of moving out here, maybe like London travel guide, things to do, then please drop a comment below and I will respond to them or create a video. And next, I do like to go in with some blush, and I like to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury blush one, I think you call it. Oh, also look at my nails. I actually do them myself. They are acrylics, and I've worked for something a bit different. I don't really go for the shape, but I feel like they're a bit bougie, and I kind of did them for Halloween. Because of my face shape does go quite oval, I like to snatch it a bit more, so I do like to put the blush placement here. And I do tend to go up on my forehead a little bit as well. So do about 4 dots on each side like this, and I'll put a bit on my eyelid, and I'll put a bit on my nose, and the way I blend that out, I blend that upwards. So with my finger here like that. And then with a beauty blender, I just dab this blush, light it up, and this is what I mean by going up in the forehead. I drag that up here like that. As you can see, this is such a nice, it blends in, and what I love about the Charlotte Tilbury products is they melt in your face. And now time for the other side. And sometimes when I find that they're not like pigmented enough, I do like to go in with the curve case here. Ignore how messy that is, look how dirty that is right now. And I like to go in with this pink, Barbie pink shade. Dab my brush in there and just tap it on my arm like this, and then just go over the area, and it's just such a pretty blush like this. And then a bit on my nose is just like that. And then I like to just quickly do my eyebrows, so I do use this e.l.f. pencil. Again, you don't need a cheap eyebrow pencil, this will work absolutely fine. And usually I brush my eyebrows. Usually I do use gel, but I've actually run out and I've cut it to the max. And here I just kind of line the bottom, making it nice and even on both sides, nice and straight like this. I do like to go a bit longer because I have plucked my eyebrow way too much. So here again on the other side, making sure they're looking even, and then that's the time when I go and fill in the top area. Again, I don't really focus too much on the front of the eyebrows because I like the darker parts being on the ends of the eyebrows. And again, trying to follow a natural arch. Making a few adjustments where I have to. And as you can see the difference of this compared to this, again, filling in areas that need filling here. Honestly, uni's actually turned me into a fucking alcoholic. I don't remember the last time I haven't drank. Is that bad? Okay. And then I like to go with lighter concealer than before that I use to cover any imperfections. This is the Kosas concealer. This is shade 2.3N. I like to get a little brush like this, and put that on the back of your hand so you can control the amount of product you're putting on. Grab a little bit and kind of carve the eyebrows, so we're going back to 2016 vibes, and also it just lightens up the area. So again, just following the line like this and just kind of filling in that outwards. And we are going to blend this out with a concealer, not concealer, we're going to blend this out with a beauty blender anyway. So as you can see, there we go, and it gets a nice sharp shape. And again, just going over the top area like so. And again, can you see how much more precise that is? And then the other side as well. This is also good if you're too lazy to do your eyebrows, or you've missed a few hairs while plucking, and it just kind of covers them and makes them a bit less visible like so. There we go. And trust me, they won't be perfect first time. It's taken years of practice. If you go back to all my old videos, you'll see how bad my eyebrows were. So I've had quite a journey with them. And just blending that out. There we go, and that's the eyebrows nice and sorted, and they look nice and even. There we go. Okay, next I like to do my eyes, which recently I've been doing black wing. I actually did it for Halloween. It was a cat I was trying to be. It was a last minute costume anyway, so. Anyway, I use my Morphe 32B palette and I go in with the black with a brush like this. And I just pick up that black pigment and follow the natural shape with my eye. Very lightly, you don't have to be harsh with this. Create a base line like this and then I fill in from the top into my eye. If that makes sense. You'll see what I'm doing here. And it's okay if you get this a bit wonky, we will go over this and make it a bit more precise with concealer. There we go. And I use my nail to kind of make that sharp. And then obviously just repeat the same exact step on the other eye and then connecting that into the eye. There we go. And this is the part where you can fix it if you'd like. So again, same concealer here, the Too Faced one, and I'll place that on the back of my hand. Grabbing the same concealer brush I used before, this one here. On my under eye like this, again in small amounts, otherwise you don't want your other eye being way too caked up. So like this, dabbing that on. There we go, and can you see the difference? The under eyes are insane. And then I obviously bring this underneath here, and this is where you can get quite precise with the cat eye that you've just done, like this. And as you can see, the difference is insane. There we go. And then while this one's waited, while I did this eye, I like to go in with my beauty blender and just dab that all in to make sure it's nice and smooth before I powder any products on top. So I actually met my mum the other day. She went to watch the Tottenham game, which, if you know, Tottenham does play in London. And spontaneously, I did end up going home for the night and came back. My fucking tutors have said I was meant to be in today, which I checked on Sunday, but guess what? I'm not. So blending that out like this, and you can see the difference. And then I like to go in with my Huda Beauty powder here with just a powder puff like this, and I'll show you the areas that I go in, make it look super snatched. So I go a line down here and on the chin, and you can see that's just completely mattified and made it completely flawless. Again on the forehead, under eyes, I like to make sure they're completely creaseless, and go in with this powder, going under the eye, on the cheek hair and round the nose. And as you can see how much that's just completely smoothed out the skin. I'm gonna do the same with the other side. Let's get the nose as well, because we will be adding our own highlight on anyways. So now we're all powdered up. Now the only steps left is the lips. So I like to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow. It kind of brings back all the moisture in the areas that I've been lost from the powder. So I go on the tip of my nose like this, and just the bridge like this. I like to go on the top of my lips. I like to go just here on my cheek, and I also like to go just under the eyebrow. And highlighting these areas, honestly, I feel like it makes you look angelic. Again, I go in with my fingers, and as you can see, kind of snatches the nose in this area. Sorry about that, guys. My camera's actually just died, so I'm onto my phone now. And for my lips, I like to go in with the Kylie Jenner Lip Plumping. I think it's shade Kylie. Here we go. And I like to go in with this. I like to just go and try and overline my lips, but only in the corners, because I do tend not to have any lips there. And what's so good at this lip liner is it's actually a plumping lip liner, so as it's making my lips look big, it's making them look big anyway. And then on the bottom here, again, I'm missing pigment on my lip. I like to fill in this, and as you can see that double line there, I like to just go over that to make it look even bigger than they already are, they're tiny bitch. And then going on top of that with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. Here it is. It's quite a neutral colour, to be honest. It does match this one really well. There we go. And usually I do have setting spray, but I have actually run out. And there we go. That is your cute natural glam.